Hello, Anne-Marie Orrock here, and today I wanted to share with you Michael Page's Salary and Employment Forecast survey results. Now, I can't take credibility for it because it has been created by Michael Page. However, I wanted to just walk you through the results and probably just comment them in terms of what corporate Canary is seeing out there in the market in terms of the ICT industry. So the first question there, how have your employee numbers changed over the last 6 months? Well, it's showing, almost a balance between here. It's not quite, 10% difference of an increase as averse to a decrease, but it is indicating just a slight change in terms of towards, a bit more healthiness. How will your employee numbers change over the next 6 months? This is sort of drilling down a bit further, and it's showing over half here plan to increase, but still 37% remaining stable, but only a smaller percent that will be decreasing their employee numbers. So it is showing reasonably good growth there, which is very encouraging. How are you intending to increase employee salaries in the next 6 months? Well, here we are now finding that 42% are actually going to be increasing salaries, whereas 30% are still sitting on the fence there, 20% no. Now, just one thing to say about when you're interpreting these kind of results in terms of the no answer there, you just don't know when the survey recipient has actually, what time frame in their employee annual review cycle that they've actually responded to this survey. So they may have said no because they've actually just increased salaries. And what we do know is there was a lot of movement at the beginning of this year, 2010, in terms of salary increases. So a lot of the increases have gone through. So that can sort of skew the results. Just moving on here now, what will the average percentage salary increase be? Now, it's interesting here, 45% are indicating they'll be offering around 3 to 4%. Now, that is not quite yet back to pre-GFC figures. We were seeing more around the 5 to 6% in the ICT industry. So it's indicating here that we're not quite fully back there. And it would be interesting to see in the next 12 months where these figures are sitting in terms of those percentage increases. What I can say about these figures and what we're seeing at the moment in terms of movements, we're starting to get a lot of requests from companies who are wanting to get benchmarking done due to employee pressure. Okay, now that's understandable. They've been sitting and waiting for quite some time now. However, what they're seeing is the impact of projects being switched back on with quite a reasonable degree of wanting to get started and moving on these projects really quite quickly because they have been delayed for such a long period of time. It is creating a spike in the market in terms of what is being offered out there now for salaries. So just be aware of that. Now, do you think a professional skills shortage will become an issue for your company in the next 12 months? Well, yes. I'm actually surprised there that it is so low, because I would have been expecting quite more significant numbers, because there is going to be a significant skill issue in the coming 12, and then after that even a bloodier bath. Now, this one I'm really quite interested in. Which retention strategies will your company be focusing on over the next 6 months? And interesting here that the strong leadership and clear communication are showing the higher percentage at 37%. Now that is really encouraging, because there are many studies and surveys out there that are indicating that staff are still leaving due to poor management and poor leadership. And I'm afraid it's just one that the leaders and the managers need to take on the chin. And it is causing a big impact to organisations in terms of retention and turnover. So it's good to see that there is going to be a lot more focus there. Now, executive coaching is an area that is on the increase now, and an area where, you know, we certainly are assisting clients in terms of building their leadership strength and communication. So if you're interested in that and knowing more about that, feel free to contact us. But also closely behind is the increase in the salary review, which is indicating that, you know, there's still a lot there are throwing money potentially at the problems. You know, my recommendation is to really look at, you know, what do the employees really want and need to be kept there over a longer term, rather than them just responding to media comment or what they're actually seeing on Seek when they're going for a bit of a wander on the internet. Okay, because it's well studied, surveyed and proven that an increase in salary, the adjustment to their lifestyle occurs within a very short period of time, around 2 to 4 months, and then it just becomes, you know, an expectation, and those retention issues are still lying underneath there. So really be aware of that. So I hope that wrap up has been informative to you and gives you something to really think about. You know, how do you compare to these figures, and what is it that is going to be happening in your organisation? If you'd like to talk to us further about this, feel free to contact us. I'm Anne-Marie Orrock, and bye for now.